Hello. I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about this 5-page GAAP paper that you need to write as your final assignment. This is really a culmination of really trying to pull together 5 of the key concepts that we've covered this semester into a paper where you're going to look up 3 references to use in your description of these 5 concepts and what it means to you. I'd really like for you to put it into your words, maybe by things that I've commented on in the lectures, what you worked on in your homework, maybe use some personal experience. And you telling me what these 5 concepts mean. That's what I really want you to do. Because you're going to find as you go through your career, many of these things go through your mind every day when you're trying to make a decision about what do I record as far as journal entries and how that impacts my financial statements or the notes to the financial statements. So let me share a couple things on here through Zoom. The first one is the actual PDF that is in the foundation part of D2L. And we have 12 principles. Now, what you see here are the first 7 on one page, and each of those 7 are important, but the last 5, which are on the second page, are the ones I want you to write about. Revenue recognition, which was from chapter 8 last semester when you had 3010. That's really where it starts. You accrue revenue, you match your expenses to that with the matching principle, which is really chapter 13. So those 2 together comprise about 95% of what you do in your accounting career. Now, also, you got materiality. You don't have time to cross the T's and dot the I's on everything that's going on in your business. So materiality is very important. Conservatism, you know how that is something that you want to err on the side of understating revenue and overstating expense. You don't want to do either, but you certainly don't want to overstate earnings per share. And finally, consistency, about being consistent. That's something that you'll find during audits that your auditors will want to know. When you have a question about how to handle a certain transaction, well, what did you do last time? You want to be consistent. You want to be consistent how you apply your principles and not start changing back and forth with your principles for the sake of increasing bonuses. So I just want to share that with you before I pick up here with the actual document here, wherever it went. Hopefully that was shared. I don't know. I'm not seeing a shared screen. Okay. All right. All right, so here's the paper format. I put a Word document out there for you to use. It's already formatted with 1-inch margins, which is what is necessary. It should be 1-inch margins. I say 5 pages, but in essence, as you see in the syllabus, it's 1,600 words. 1,600 words is the minimum that you need to fulfill. Now, I've got a format here for you to put your title in of whatever you're doing here. Of course, change your name to you and the current date. And there really should be, you don't have to do an abstract if you choose to do that, you can. But there are the 5 principles: revenue recognition, matching, materiality, conservatism, consistency. I would do it in that order. You don't have to. Just make sure you have that as a heading. That way I can tell that you've covered all 5. It'll be a good checkpoint for you as well. I had someone last semester that left out one of them. So they automatically had 20 points deducted. So don't do that. What I've got stuck here under abstract has nothing to do with the abstract. I'm just showing you how to, in APA 6th edition, how do you actually cite within an article or within a paper something that you're referencing. And Adams 2009 indicated such and such. That's how you would cite an author. Their last name's Adams. You don't put their initials, their first, middle initials, or anything else. You just put their last name and the date and the year, not the date, the year. If you got one with 3, like Aclidios, Lim, and Parse, 2010 found that, and so forth, that's how you would actually use that from your references. If you're actually going to quote them again or paraphrase them again, down here I've got ACCT3020 et al. 2014 is used for a repeat of more than one article. All right, you don't have to do the same thing again. If you've got two authors, DiRenzio and Lilly, 2014 stated, and this is one where it's a direct quote. Now, oftentimes you're just going to paraphrase. When you paraphrase, you do need to use citations like this to be in compliance with not plagiarizing. And when this gets run through Turnitin, which is what ETSU utilizes for checking plagiarism, it will ignore those that are adequately cited. But here, quotations, right? And then down at the end, you want to put page 1. You can see how you actually cite that. All right, if we go down to the very bottom, I actually had some references included in there in your reference page, because that's the last title. And this is the way you should do this in APA. The School of Graduate Studies at ETSU uses APA. I know some of you have used is the MLA and the Chicago style, and there's several different ones floating around out there. Honors College, I'm not sure what they use, but anytime I have an honors college student, I instruct them to use APA, since that's what the university uses at the graduate level. So here is how you would actually cite something using APA. And I used an example here of just about anything you might encounter. There's Adams, J. Adams, 2009, how you italicize the journal, volume, page, and so forth. Retrieved on, whenever you're, and most of the time you're using a DOI or a URL, you want to use retrieved on, date, from, and this is even more current than APA 6th edition. So you want to actually use retrieved on September 21, 2017 from, and be sure and make that link active so somebody can actually click on that. Like you can see, it pulls up control click to follow link to be able to access that. Here's one with 2, and they're using the ampersand. You do use an ampersand in the reference, but in the citation, you're going to use the actual word and. All right. There's one with 3. There's another one with 2. Here's one, American Accounting Association and the ACCT3020 2012 Pathways Commission. There's the association, AACSB, eligibility procedures and accreditation standards. That a little bit different. I think there's the only one is actually a book, I believe, Education Research Fundamentals for the Consumer, 2nd edition. All right, and there you're going to have the publisher and so forth. So I think I've probably covered everything. I know I told you can access either my dissertation, go to the OWL, O-W-L, as in the bird, right? An owl. At Purdue University, they have a very good online method of seeing how to use APA or any of those different types of citations and references for formatting. Or you can go buy an APA 6th edition book. Of course, I wouldn't. It's very hard to follow, and it's really a reference manual. And I think I actually put a blog site out there for APA blog site that you can go out there and look at how to do things that maybe aren't in the APA book that gives you insight. I found that very useful. Anyway, that's just sort of an overview. So you've got the actual Word document there. It's formatted. Really straightforward. The main part of this is not just understanding APA 6th edition. That's important, but the main thing is understanding those 5 concepts and taking those 5 concepts and talking about what does it mean to you and how do you accrue revenue, how do you match expenses, materiality, conservatism, and consistency. Put all that together. It's something that you will find very useful and really sort of galvanize what you've learned in this class as you move forward into advance in your career in accounting. So we'll talk again soon.